Welcome to Comic Power. I am your host, Comic Killer 72. This segment today is called Wicked Wednesday. If you didn't know, Wednesday is the new release for new comics that come out every week. These are my recommendations for the best books to pick up on Wednesday. I will also name one book to be the speculation pick of the week. Comic publishers are selling a lot of comics this year, and a lot of books are going to second prints, which we're going to get into. First up, DC is giving us Deathstroke Rebirth #1. AKA Slade Wilson. He should be much more popular since he's basically the inspiration for Deadpool. When you put them side by side, you can see the similarities, but Deathstroke was created first back in 1980 in Teen Titans #2. Deadpool, aka Wade Wilson, wasn't created until 1991 in New Mutants #98. I'm not trying to throw shade at Deadpool. I actually like the character, but we must fess up. He's actually a ripoff of Deathstroke. It's that simple. With a little bit of Spider-Man in him. In saying that, Deathstroke's variant looks pretty good as well, so go ahead and pick this up. Next up is the Justice League Rebirth #1, which is going to a second printing. This second print is going to be a variant, and rumor has it it's going to be artwork based on this sketch right here by Joe Moriarty. That is insanely hot. At the time I made this video, I can't confirm that this is true or not, but I hope it is. Next up is Suicide Squad's Most Wanted, El Diablo and Boomerang #1. This is the first of a 6-part miniseries. This is DC trying out the Suicide characters that are not as well known to see if they're worthy of an ongoing series. Diablo was played by Jay Hernandez in the Suicide Squad movie, and he came up really big in the finale. Boomerang, played by Jay Courtney, had a fetish for pink unicorns. It was kind of weird, his character. I couldn't really figure it out. Boomerang was first introduced in comics looking like this, so hopefully for the comic they're going to use the movie version because that was pretty lame. Next up is Superwoman #1. Is this a novelty or what? I don't know. But for some reason, Lois Lane has the powers of Superman. I obviously have not been paying attention to what's going on here. Seriously, I can't read everything that's out there. You should do like me and pick this up out of curiosity. The Terry Dodson variant looks fantastic. Terry really knows how to draw a pretty woman. Next up is Red Hood and the Outlaws #1. Marvel has the Winter Soldier and DC has the Red Hood, being a former sidekick that turns into an anti-hero. Yep, and that's Bizarro on the team, so I'm curious to see where this goes. Next up is the speculation pick of the week. I'm Batman. Of course, it's our friendly neighborhood vigilante himself, Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman. But not just any Batman, it's All-Star Batman. Okay, Batman, this is my show. You're going to let me narrate. You can't just be interrupting all the time. But I'm Batman. I know you're Batman, but if you're the world's greatest detective, how come in Batman vs. Superman, you did not know that you and Superman both had mothers named Martha? Oh, that was different. No, it wasn't different. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. I'm tired of this. I'm gonna go out and fight crime. Okay, Batman. Okay, have a great day. Okay, Batman's gone, everybody, and let's go ahead and talk about his book now. And that's All-Star Batman #1. It's going to come with a lot of covers like this John Romita variant shown here. The Shalvey variant shown here gives it a horror type of look. If you look at this from a distance, it kind of looks like he has Archangel type of wings. But in reality, his plane has crashed in the field. And of course, there's the Jock variant. This guy is really good at drawing witches, werewolves, and demons and stuff like that. And he gives that treatment to Batman, which looks excellent. All these versions are great, but the All-Star Batman Oliver version is tremendous. All-Star Batman is the return of Scott Snyder to the character in writing duties after his great run on the New 52. And lastly from DC, we have Why the Last Man, trade paperback book 5. This was written by Brian K. Vaughan before he did Saga and Paper Girls and We Stand on Guard. It's a dystopian future where all male mammals have died except for this guy and his pet monkey, and how the world will adjust when there literally is only one surviving man in the world. Alright, let's see what Marvel is up to. And that's going to be Black Panther #5. This is not just comics, it's a political thriller as well. The creative team, Tanisha Coates and Brian Stilfreeze, are both worthy of Eisners on this. Next up is Darth Vader #24. The rumor mill is this could be a key because it's supposed to have the origin of Darth Vader. The line of Christopher action figure variants continue with this 000 droid. I'll have some of that. Next up, we got Spider-Man Deadpool #8. It was a no-brainer that Marvel would team up their two most popular characters, but the real story here is that retailers under-ordered all of these issues. Now every single issue has went to reprint. So this Wednesday, this is what you're going to get. Spider-Man Deadpool #1 is going to a 7th print. #2 is going to a 6th print. #3 is going to a 5th print. #4 is going to a 4th print. #5 is going to a 3rd print. And #6 is going to a 2nd print. Holy moly, that's a lot of reprints. Speaking of reprints, that brings us to the Invincible Iron Man. Since she was first introduced in Invincible Iron Man number 7, Riri Williams has really been a runaway success for Marvel very quickly. So all of her early appearances, you guessed it, are going to reprints. And the breakdown looks like this. Invincible Iron Man number 7 is going to a 3rd print. Number 8 is going to a 2nd print. Number 9 is going to a 3rd print. Number 10 is going to a 2nd print. And number 11 is going to a 2nd print. These will be variant covers which will have her face on it. She does not appear in issue 8, but they're reprinting that anyway. If you're late to the party, Riri Williams is a 15-year-old MIT student and an African-American female who reverse engineers one of Tony Stark's armors in her dorm room, and she's going to take over as Iron Man in the near future. Or should I say Iron Woman. Next up is our report on independent comics and small publishers. First up is Providence number 10. This is part 10 of a 12-part miniseries written by Alan Moore, who is a god in comic world, and produced by Avatar Press. Next up is Neverland number 1 from 451 Media. This is a dark and magical retelling of Peter Pan set in the present-day landscape of Hollywood. It is not a retelling of Michael Jackson and what happened in his former estate. Some things you really don't want to know, do you? Next up is Sons of Anarchy Redwood Original number 1 from Boom Studios. This is based on characters from the hit TV show on AMC. I expect this comic to have a very thin print run, and people that are fans of the show will probably want to pick this up, making it sell out. Next up is Ninjak number 18 from Valiant Comics. Every time I introduce this book, I tell you, it is the best comic you are not reading. It's written by Matt Kent, who's famous for writing for Divinity. It's a mashup of spies, espionage, sci-fi, and ninja fighting. So if you're a fan of James Bond, or if you're a fan of Frank Miller Daredevil, put those together and you'll have something like Ninjak. His arch enemy is Roku. She's a woman that can control things with her hair, sort of like Medusa from the Inhumans. Next up from Image Comics, we have Black Monday Murders. This is written by Jonathan Hickman, who's famous for the Secret War saga as well as the comic East of West. He's one of the most acclaimed writers in comics, so if he puts out something new, you should pick it up off his reputation alone. Next up is The Fix number 1, which is going to a 5th print. And it's also a variant. This is one of the biggest surprise hits of 2016. It's a very dark comedy about 2 corrupt cops. They commit a robbery which is not sanctioned by their captain, who is also a corrupt cop. So they have to do a favor for him by sneaking some contraband through an airport which is patrolled by a drug-sniffing dog named Pretzel, shown here. Issue number 4 also is coming out, and it's going to a 2nd print as well. Every single issue has gone to reprints for this series. If you read this and don't laugh your ass off, something's wrong with you. It's awesome. That's about it for today. Thank you for watching Wicked Wednesday, where I review all the new comic books for a new comic day. Be sure to follow my blog at comicpower.net. On social media, follow me at facebook.com/comicpower.net and comicpower-universe.tumblr.com. And don't forget twitter.com/comicpowersub. I also sell comics on eBay at this link. This is Comic Killer 72 for Comic Power saying bye-bye. And don't forget to share this video, click on subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and tell everyone you know about this channel to help it grow. Thank you for your support.